cursed devices, haunted mirrors, and unseen shadows causing chaos. Sometimes, what seems like an ordinary moment hides something far more disturbing. In today's video, we've compiled some of the most chilling and unexplainable encounters ever caught on camera. A group of Japanese schoolgirls shared this footage showing their encounter with a ghost that haunts their school bathroom. One of them even grabbed a camera and started looking all around the stalls, until it suddenly appeared. Although not much is known about this girl, what is known is that this girl may have passed away so tragically that she haunts the very place. This is very similar to a case just like the fictional character of Moaning Myrtle from the Harry Potter world. Meditating shadow silhouette. When it comes to ghosts, spirits, or shadow entities, locking the doors isn't going to be enough to stop them. A girl who was home alone while her parents were away was checking out after hearing something downstairs, when she did notice a large, shadowy figure that seemed to be sitting. By the shape and nature of the silhouette, it almost seemed as if this were a shadow or spirit of a monk in the midst of a deep meditative session. Haunted encounter. After hearing a disturbance in his storage room, the recorder started inspecting the room using just the flashlight on his phone while recording. Suddenly, he noticed a spooky figure, or at least its reflection in the mirror. He attempted to look directly for it, saw no one was there, and confirmed his suspicion that it was a ghost. Now, if we can roll back the footage and take a look at this figure, it very much resembles the spirit of a woman, if not a witch. The footage was later shared on TikTok and went viral in the paranormal community. No. Channel change, backlash. A lone woman was sleeping, but her home security camera caught a scary moment. The channel started to change several times before it finally stopped at a particular show or movie. The audio, as well, was raised to the maximum, which was loud enough to wake her up. Just as she was about to turn the audio down, the paranormal entity attempted to stop her otherwise by starting to pull her hair viciously. The woman, in panic and fear of her safety, quickly left the room while the camera stopped filming. Backfired Ouija board nightmare.
Oh my God!
Using a Ouija board to communicate with the spirits of the dead may sound like a good idea until it backfires terribly. Video footage was shared by an unknown source showing a spirit that started to terrorize him, starting from waking him up in the middle of the night.
The deliberate attempt to contact the spirit of a deceased person is known as a seance. But I have a skill you might like.
From attempting to communicate through Alexa, turning the lights, and slamming the doors to fake charging the recorder, the spirit does it all to terrorize the man. According to him, he attempted to try out an Ouija board, where instead of being able to talk to a soul or spirit, it came and started to haunt him.
Chee-hee, 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 chee-hee.
Hello? Oh my God!
Paranormal gateway. This isn't another one of those dramatic paranormal activities. Rather, one that's far more concerning. During a paranormal investigation of an old and abandoned house, the two of the investigators, while checking the basement, were caught by surprise as a mirror suddenly shattered. Initially, it was thought to be another one of those random moments until the footage was reviewed once again and in slow motion, where a shadow of a paranormal entity can be seen coming out from almost as if the mirror were a gateway to their world. Spiritual home invasion. A lone homeowner who, after being awakened several times in a row after noise throughout his home, decided to check it out. He started from the very closet in his bedroom, looking around the corners until suddenly this happened. He then proceeded to check his bathroom, where something suddenly came reaching for him from the bathtub. Then he turned on the light and checked his bathroom once again. Only this time, his power randomly turned off seconds before a supernatural figure suddenly appeared from the other side of the door. Being terrified, he decided to just spend the night in his bedroom and locked himself in. But the spirits followed him in and started terrorizing still, where footage gets cut off. Mystical encounter.
My hair.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Something
No, I mean.
These two young women were enjoying each other's company until an unseen entity spoiled their moment. At first, it grabbed one of the girl's hairs, lifting it in the air for a fraction of a second that immediately caught her attention, especially with no one around them.
Something just took my hair.
In seconds, the other girl experienced the same at that point. Both panicked and immediately left the room. Once again, this is another encounter that could have started with worse or gone to worse soon after.
You mean something?
I don't know.
Something.
No, I'm coming out. I'm coming out.
Terrifying apartment ghost. This lone tenant was about to switch on his television when suddenly he started hearing a disturbance in his kitchen area. It started to toss around spoons and forks on the floor, and the man, despite being spooked, picked them up. Just as he thought he could finally return to watch the TV, he noticed the reflection of the very ghost that was terrorizing him. Immediately, to the extent that he decided to leave the apartment for a while. Luckily, he filmed the entire encounter on camera just to not sound insane. Encroaching zombie.
Hi. Oh my god, Tiago! Oh my god, oh my god!
Among all types of angels or demons that you may encounter, a zombie without a doubt would be the creepiest of them all. A young woman who was waiting for a friend in a car just outside McDonald's, where she encountered a troubled person who was staring down at her from outside. It looked like an actual zombie, presumably seeing her as an ideal victim, though it didn't seem to show the desperation to get into the vehicle. Rather, having a vibe of taking calculated steps is what made it even more spooky.
Hi. Oh my god, Tiago! Oh my god, oh my god!
Within a short while, it proceeded to move on and disappeared as the girl's friend appeared to be returning. Compromised encounter. A couple that were celebrating their first marriage anniversary. One of their neighbors, who was filming them unknowingly, captured the appearance of a dark witch that was peeping at them from the inside of the house. Upon noticing the camera, it immediately hides itself behind the door. It was only discovered later as they shared the video with the rest of their family. Triggered paranormal activity. A woman who was home alone in a house that was said to have paranormal moments at times. She decided to light up a sage stick in hopes of cleansing out the source of the paranormal activity with the scent of it. It was at this moment that the paranormal entity started acting up by knocking things over. A camera had been installed in the bedroom just in case the entity reacted far worse than previously. It started to follow the woman and tossed things around her. At this point, she ended up waiting outside her home, waiting on her son, just to be safe. Wandering ghost. While a lone girl was recording herself dancing, hoping for TikTok fame, the footage unexpectedly captured a chilling presence lurking in the background. It looked like a spirit that was wandering around, as if it had accepted coexistence without being in anyone's knowledge. Rude awakening. If you didn't know that the place where you live is, or has turned haunted, you're in for an unpleasant surprise. Just as this woman, a lone woman, had installed a security camera in her bedroom that captured a concerning moment. Amid the woman sleeping late at night, a ghost came into her room through the door, snatched the blanket before pulling her away and down from bed and into the closet while she was reacting in fear. The woman made it out safely, but was left traumatized for a while. Laundry demon. A ghost in a laundry shop sounds unlikely, but this case was anything but ordinary. The owner had started noticing unsettling signs. Clothes swaying without cause. Unexplained whispers echoing through the space. Suspicious, they installed a surveillance camera. What it recorded was deeply disturbing. At first, it showed faint rustling among the white garments. Then, out of nowhere, a pale face with hollow eyes snapped into view. Its movement was random. While it might seem strange for a spirit to linger in a place like that, some believe there's a darker explanation. Secondhand clothes can absorb lingering energies, and sometimes those energies aren't from the living. Haunting road spirit.
What?
A woman, after seeing a haunted spirit that no one else saw, installed this security to see if it was the case. This spirit looked like a lady dressed like a 1950s nurse who would pass almost every other night from her residence. As much as she was curious to get to the bottom of this mystery, was equally terrified of the aftermath since no one else could see it. Visiting Grim Reaper. Among all kinds of paranormal visitors, be it ghosts or spirits, getting to spot a Grim Reaper has to be the most concerning one. A girl who had her picture taken randomly by her companion was shocked to discover after seeing something sitting next to her. Initially, it was thought to be a ghost, until a much closer examination showed resemblance to that of a Grim Reaper without its sickle. The fact that the Grim Reaper appears only at the moment of death is what spooked the woman the most, thinking it could be her turn any second. Boys' interaction. Seeing your little one talking into an empty room may not seem alarming at first, until you start seeing it quite often. A younger mother shared this clip on her TikTok showing one of the moments where her son was looking at a bathroom vent while having a brief interaction.
Who are you saying goodnight to?
Good night.
Jagger, there's no one up there.
He's up there.
Show me.
He's up there. Up there.
When confronted, the toddler, multiple times assured of the presence of a spirit or ghost that he was actively in interaction with. The repetitive behavior of the kid had left the young mother concerned for the safety and well-being of her son. Sudden intrusion.
Hello?
A home alone woman who was just starting her day when she, along with her dog, was disturbed. It started from the kitchen, where the door of the wall cabinet started to slam by itself, which immediately caught her attention.
And we're hearing something in the kitchen.
Scaring both the woman and her dog. Judging by the focus of this ghost being just in the kitchen on the shelves with food, it probably just needed something to eat. Midnight door rattling. An apartment resident shared this clip on his TikTok, showing something that was rattling his apartment door at 3 a.m. He cautiously approached the door with a baseball bat before abruptly opening it. What he discovered on the outside was something very unexpected. A humanoid with a haunting, if not beastly face appeared before it suddenly vanished within the blink of an eye. The recorder, along with many paranormal enthusiasts, believes this was an actual ghost that was making a physical presence. Cancelled spirit encounter.
For today's drink,
a young woman who, while making a promotional video of a drink, was interrupted by a paranormal activity. Instead of ignoring or being scared, she quickly confronted it, only to find empty curtains after a quick search. Before anything else could happen, she shut and locked the window soon after. Looks like the ghost will have to go to someone else to put in fear. Uninvited interruption. A man who was in the midst of a dumbbell exercise when something suddenly opened his front door and got in. At first, he thought someone was pranking him from the outside. Which he immediately investigated until his decorations suddenly started dropping. As more and more pieces started dropping, the man wasn't risking it so much that he decided to leave and come back later. Ghost of Frankenstein. Two friends who, while drinking and hanging out, made a video of themselves where an unknown entity willingly appeared on the camera for a millisecond. According to both of them, they were alone in the room and never saw anything until later when they reviewed the video and were shocked. Though some of the viewers believed this to be a ghost, others were convinced it was the devil himself. Among the Flames. A group of firemen who were under training with a controlled flame, where one of the instructors who was filming noticed something off. A shadowy figure appeared, moving through the fire and out. While looking from outside the window, the recorder initially took it to be someone still trapped inside, if not a smoke illusion. As he entered the hallway, noticed a shadow moving out from a burning room to one that was not. At this point, he was convinced that this indeed was a ghost or a jinn, supernatural entities born from fire. Paranormal curtains obsession. If anything is annoying about ghosts or spirits, it's their consistent stubbornness over a singular point of obsession. An installed camera on the top of the staircase captured several moments where a woman would cover the windows with the curtains. Something would pull them back away seconds later. This followed throughout the night until it got to a point where the paranormal entity would itself pull the curtains back and forth. This ghost or spirit had some indecision or obsession about curtains. Snatched home. Ghosts or spirits didn't just decide to move in, but also take over control of the residence. A couple who had purchased their dream home suddenly started to have paranormal activity in the house. It all started when the woman in the house suddenly noticed a doorknob moving with a partial open, yet nothing followed. She waited, expecting her husband to appear, but that never happened, with similar instances following frequently. The couple decided to leave their house and live on Airbnb. Vacuum or mirror gateway. When it comes to paranormal activity or black magic, mirrors aren't just a mere tool of reflection, but a gateway. A paranormal investigator, after hearing about a one-of-a-kind mirror where something either behind it or in it started to snatch things away. Using an old laminated piece of paper, the investigator experimented by placing it next to the photo frame, only to have it sucked inside like some kind of vacuum, if not a mirror gateway. Now, if this is some gateway, which according to more paranormal experts, there certainly would be an entity behind the frame that's making things disappear. Humanoid silhouette. A homeowner who, just after entering his home, noticed a black humanoid silhouette in his house. He started recording on his camera the moment it left for the basement, leaving the door open. The homeowner quickly grabbed a flashlight and followed it downstairs to hopefully get a look at it. Now, despite the basement having enough vents for sunlight, this black silhouette could still not be seen anywhere. At this point, the recorder was convinced that this may have been some supernatural entity that was making a physical presence. Tracked haunted activity. An owner of a house who had a suspicion about his property having spirits living decided to investigate it himself. Using only a specialized camera placed on a shelf along with the torch, he started moving around the house. Just as he was going up the stairs, a smoke-type silhouette could be seen walking behind him, going up the stairs. A few seconds later, another signature was seen partially appearing from the closet, where its face was seen as the clip zoomed in at. Pulled by spirit. You know it's serious paranormal activity when the very first sign targets you directly. A home CCTV camera captured a concerning moment where a young woman who was watching television along with her dogs suddenly grabbed her hair and started pulling them. Since none of the dogs barked or acted suspiciously, she initially thought it may have been the one that was sitting next to her, until she later reviewed the camera footage. Now, although this was just a gentle hair pull, things could have easily turned out to be far worse. House dog's confrontation. When a house dog's confrontation is sudden and focused, though you can't see anyone, you can be sure that it's a ghost. A TikTok user shared a home surveillance camera footage where a pet dog suddenly appeared and started barking as if it were confronting an intruder. Seconds into the clip, the silhouette of this very entity can be seen moving in and around the corner of the house without much worry. Staring spirit. Right after a bath, a selfie addict was snapping mirror photos where he noticed something chilling in one of the shots. A terrifying figure resembling a witch silently watching him. Strangely, the eerie presence wasn't visible to the naked eye and did not move before or after being captured on camera. It had a bold and dark face with glowing eyes that could be easily seen. Though it never approached or reacted, its silent stare left him deeply unsettled, as anything could happen if this spirit were triggered. Haunted house family. A paranormal enthusiast filmed and shared this clip on TikTok, showing what he believes is a haunted house. It had an active signature of not just one, but several ghosts or spirits that were repeatedly moving back and forth. According to the recorder, this could have been a family, which would explain the brief activity. The owner of the property was said to have locked the house and had left the country for a while, which further explains and verifies the possibility of this being a family of ghosts, if not a gathering of some kind. It's time for today's open discussion. They say misery invites darkness, and that day, it certainly did. A girl who decided to explore a haunted house found herself cornered by an unidentifiable growling crawler on all fours, with tangled hair draped over its limbs. As it drew closer, its grotesque red face came into view, twisted and inhuman, like something spawned from the depths of hell. Perhaps it was her grief that opened the gateway, and the lifeless silence of the house that welcomed the thing in. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.